Hey guys, how are you? We're live, just so you know. Lisa's running around looking for a
I can't
vinyl.
find it. I'll be right back.
So, thanks for joining us. All right. Hopefully we're in a different spot today. It's been really quiet today until we went live, and we do have some customers in the store, so please excuse the extra noise that's going around the store. As you know, we are open for business as well. So Gene frowns upon it when we turn the store, when we close the store just to do a live, but here we are. So we had so much fun last week.
We did.
Doing all of the Kimberbell.
We did. We
Stuff.
totally did.
Yes.
I am too tall.
I
No,
can't
I'm
get
not
it.
wearing heels.
I can't. You have to. We need to switch sides. The Leabu sticker is right on your
Right
forehead.
in my forehead.
I think I can turn that off. Oh,
That's a
look
little
at
better.
that. There you go. That's better. Okay, so yeah, it was a lot of fun. And you had a day. Yeah. You had a day. You had a really a day off, a vacation day.
I had a day.
Yeah, and
then here I
you're
am
back.
again. That's okay.
Yes. We have some fun stuff to show today. We're going to talk about layering on the Scan and Cut, which is one of those things that
We get asked about a
a
lot.
lot. Yes.
A whole lot. So yeah, we're going to, I've got some stuff I cut at home last night. So I can show you guys that. And then I'm actually going to cut one live while we talk about
Or we
it.
chit chat. Yeah.
So,
What did you do anything fun on your vacation so far?
no.
No.
I
But
sewed.
you
Yes,
sewed,
I did.
yeah.
I sewed. I took Caitlin to the doctor and it went really well. So that was fun. And I just, put everything out of reach. Sorry.
Yeah, and then I covered it up. So
I was just trying to make sure that everything is not going to get hit by a mat when
Right.
it moves too. So,
yeah,
okay, I think I'm good now.
I was
Sorry.
driving home yesterday. I had a hair appointment.
Yeah.
And I stopped up here really quickly to use the restroom. It's like an hour away, right?
Yes,
It's the
I heard that.
middle point. And so I get this random text from my dad, and it says, "Did you work today?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "I just needed to know." And then I get a message that something was delivered to my house. So I'm like, "Oh, that must have been what he
Why
was
you
doing."
needed to know.
Yep. So
Yes.
we were almost home. I got home, and there was a box from like Wayfair on the porch. And Dave's like, "Did you order anything?" And I'm like, "No, it has your name on it." He's like, "I didn't order anything." My dad bought us for Christmas a really pretty solar fountain for outside.
cool.
So
That's
that
neat.
was in the box.
Yeah.
And so I got my first Christmas
I don't
present
have a
early.
fountain. I have, I think, everything else at my house, but I don't have a fountain. I have a pond that's really gross with a deck that's practically falling into said pond.
Yeah.
I never posted the pictures. I did go home and take them, but I never posted the
Oh, yeah, we
picture
didn't get pictures
of
the
my
flashing-
yard that vomited up inflatables. Did I tell you he added more?
You did.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah,
We have to get those pictures up for him.
I totally need to do that. And I apologize. Had a few
We've
other
been busy.
things. I have been.
Yes.
It's been crazy.
It has been
Um,
really crazy. So,
but,
um,
unlike normal, there's no dirty dishes in my sink.
yeah,
My counter's wiped down. It's funny having just a little bit more time every day, how much easier things can get
I
and,
know.
and whatnot. So Mom hopefully won't have as many. So we did Christmas cookies.
Oh, how fun.
I see Mom's on there. So we did decorate. We have a recipe for sugar cookies that's been handed down and down and down and down. And it's made with all brown sugar.
Mm.
They just melt in your mouth. They are just so wonderful. So Caitlin and I, and then PJ came later, my youngest, went to Mom's, and we FaceTimed my sister in Royal Oak. So she was making a batch there, and we were making a batch here, and we decorated and everything together on FaceTime. So
It's kind of, while it's not the same, it's different in a way
Yeah.
that you can be kind of far apart, but still
It was
face
much
to
easier
face.
to not get caught eating dough.
True, because you could be off camera
I
really
just,
quickly.
you know,
Yeah,
just
yeah. I love your stories about your cookies, about the names on the cookies.
yeah.
So-
I behaved this year. Everybody has their
Sorry,
own,
Mom, we know all about
own name. Well, I shared the pictures. So, you know, my mom's name is Mary. You guys have probably seen her either in the shop, certainly seen her name on the message boards there. And sure, come on over. So Caitlin came with me today since I'm on vacation. So this is Caitlin.
Hi,
You guys
everybody.
have heard me talk about her all the time. So she's like, "Can I come?" And I'm like, "Of course you can." So now you are a celebrity.
Yay!
So all right. So
This
anyway,
is my best mommy ever.
best mom ever. Your best
Back to
mom ever.
business.
She's gonna go back to business now with coloring, which is her business. She's got this great plan. She's gonna sell her drawings for $1 a piece at the garage sale, whenever that happens to be
That
a
sounds
thing.
good.
So yeah. So
Good to have a
anyway,
plan. Yeah, cookies, mom's
Cookie's
name.
mom's name. So mom's name is Mary. Mom. My kids call her Grandma, and my sister's son calls her Mimi. So I turned to her and I said, "What name would you like me to write on your Christmas cookie?" She says, "Well, I don't care. You could write bleep for all I care, and you know it'll still taste just as good." So being the little bit of a smart aleck that I am, I wrote the bleep instead of her name, and then presented it to her. And I have a picture of her practically crying, laughing so hard when I gave her this. So Jane says hi to Caitlin.
And so does Pam.
And Pam. Pam says hi, sweetie.
Hi.
So Pam, I just texted you back. Send that to my mom. You accidentally sent it to me. So I was the last one she talks to, evidently, because I came up first. So hi, Deb. All right. So yeah, that's the Christmas cookie story. But they are. I usually bring in one. So does anybody else have this problem of their necklaces doing this? This is not what it's supposed to look like.
It's not supposed to be the booth.
It is not supposed to be the no. And I keep I'm like, maybe if I sling them around one. I'm having issues. Anyway, all right, back to business.
So we have
anything?
some
Yeah, I was
fun.
gonna say, did anything happen while I was gone? But you've only been here for
A few
7 hours or 8 hours
Yeah.
so far. So
Except for these, I was really. Are these huge?
these are
it's
huge.
Much
They
bigger
look.
than I anticipated it being.
Size
So
does matter.
size matters.
So
I
check
mean,
out
I
this
have to turn it
massive.
sideways so you can see it.
So these are 15 inches by 24 inches pre-cuts. So how nice is that? And are we going to sell these, or were these just for us?
Well, there would be a lot for us. I don't know where to put
Okay.
them, so everybody
So
needs
yes,
to buy them.
you can certainly come and get those if you have one of the big monster hoops.
Yeah. So we have medium cutaway. Is that going to be sticky enough?
We're going to try.
There's another one. I think I saw two.
Oh, well.
There was two.
Oh, here's another one. Maybe that one's the better one.
So yeah, we have medium cutaway and medium tearaway.
Medium cutaway and medium tearaway.
There's 50 sheets in there, and they
Did
can
you say
be.
there was a little less in the cutaway?
They both have 50 sheets
Okay.
in them. It's just thinner because the tearaway is thinner.
Thinner. Yep.
The
Sure.
packaging is thinner because the stabilizer is thinner. So the cutaway is $39.99 for 50 sheets, so less than $1 a sheet. They can be cut in half, so if you're using
5x7 sheets.
yeah
5x7 hoops. That you
6
can
by 10,
6 by 10s.
it'll fit a variety of different ones.
Yeah.
Or use them in
I
your
have to
big
say,
hoops.
I really like I don't have to cut it.
I know, and
because
I
it's so
don't
hard
have
to get up from where I'm sitting to walk over to the cutting table area.
It's also
and
not.
it's not
rolled
it's
up,
not
it's
rolled, so
flat.
it lies much better.
I've been known to iron my stabilizer flat.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
I know, right? Because the rolls, again, I just get tired of doing it. So when you're on a roll, I actually just buy a roll and I just
You pre-cut them yourself?
I do, and then I put them underneath my cutting mat so they lay flat, and then I can just grab them.
So the awesome thing is these have the Leabu.
Yeah,
The
it's
Leabu. The Leabu name.
So we have these guys.
So I sent Sarah a text yesterday that something was going to be shipped, and she was like, "Great, I'll text Hayden." And I was like, "Oh, it's Monday." Whoops.
They were here by the time I texted them.
That's too funny.
Yes.
So yeah. So that's what I'm eating cookies, trying to behave and not eat all of the cookies in one sitting. But I will Oh, hey, Deb. How you doing? Different Deb.
D's and Deborah's.
D's and Debs. We have a lot of D's and Debs and Marys. They
And
tend
Karens.
to
And Karen's.
we have a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We'll be talking about someone. Like, which one are you talking about? Because we have like 5 of those. But yeah, so it's been a good time. I'm just trying to not gain weight, but it's probably not the right month to try to not do that. So maybe we'll just start again in January. Maybe
I think the goal is to
make
just
this part a little less pronounced.
is just to not stop trying, right?
Never stop trying. Even if it's just less pop every day. I mean, that makes such a big difference. And I'm very bad at it.
I know.
I mean, let's get real.
We're drinking our.
So I didn't get to my cup yet. I rinsed it out before I went on vacation, but baby steps. Okay, so these are new, really, really awesome. How much did we get enough? Can I take some home? I might take some home then. Yay.
Yep.
So every December, I generally try to do scan and cut. That is a free class. And depending upon what we're doing, the kits are extremely low priced, or sometimes I have been able to swing free. We are going to actually do this as our demo portion next week.
Yep.
And so you'll see the step-by-step process of how to do that. And then we'll have kits available. They're only going to be $1 a piece, so it'll be everything that you need to make that. I did get ornament hangers; they're coming, and I did get the pop dots; they're coming too. So
Awesome.
those should be here in the next couple of days. So we get those all prepped. There won't be, it's not just a 1 kit per person. So if you would like, I think 6 maximum. I think that's probably.
My ride must have just arrived.
Look at that!
It looked like a Yoda.
Oh, I missed that part. All I saw was the attachment line.
Oh yeah.
So this is what we're going to be doing. I did add rhinestones to mine. Those won't be in the kit, but we can certainly, I will show how to do that next week. And then I'll pick another day, probably at close.
So if somebody wants to do it along with you.
Do it along with me and
answer-
sit and
ask
actually do
questions.
that and be able to ask questions and whatnot rather than this live thing here. I'll actually schedule a day that you guys can do
And
that.
we'll also have the video posted to YouTube.
Absolutely.
Just a video of how this actually
How to put
works.
this. So I
So you
want
don't
to
have
make
to-
sure I am giving credit where credit is due.
Yes.
This is a free design from Dreaming Tree, which their website is the letter 3, the letter D, and then svg.com. They have some really, really great stuff. Most of their stuff is paper, which I do like to play with. I had all of this in my stash, if that is not.
So their kits are going to be a little
So
bit
it's going to be a little different.
different.
It's going to be an actual shimmer foil instead of just the silver, which this is actually called shimmer paper. I don't know if you guys can see. It is actually, the silver is shimmered, but yours is going to be like metallic foil. It's going to look really, really cool. And then the blue will be red foiled. So red sparkle. And then because we have to bling it right. I
Right.
mean, what it's all about. So it's going to be white glitter. So all decorative, I almost said fabric, but all decorative papers, and they will be here. The ornament hanger will be part. So there's a little wire you pop through there and use as that. So everything that you need to do that. So really,
Awesome.
really cool. It went together super easy. So we'll walk through that. So again, credit where credit is due. This is from Dreaming Tree, which is the letter 3 dsvg.com. And we will do that live next week. I will cut everything and put it all together. And then I will send out an email that says when. I don't know yet. I'm on vacation. I don't have a clue. So there you go.
Okay. And so without further ado, let's talk about today's scan and cut project. So we talked briefly at the beginning. We're going to talk layers.
My dog was helping me. You have dog hair all over everything. Isn't that fun?
Told my hair girl yesterday that I think I told you she's got a little puppy,
Yeah.
and he just loves me. So when
And you get,
yeah, but
Yeah.
I had to snuggle him. So he just gets right up on my lap, and he was asleep like the entire time. I told her, I said, he's going in my bag and he's going home with me.
and she was like,
She was like, no, he's my buddy. I'm like, he's my buddy.
he's not mine.
But so I totally get that whole helping.
Yeah, my oldest, his name is Fred. We give
I love
people
that.
names to our puppies. We had a Bob, and then we had a Zoe, and we had another one. I'm drawing a blank. Isn't that terrible? Oh my gosh. Mac. We kind of named him because we got him like right when we first got married, and you know, the whole McDonald's thing. So he was like Big Mac, but he was really really small. So we just called him Mac. And then he got fat, and then we called him Big Mac.
Fat Mac.
Fat Mac. That is absolutely right. And then we had Zoe, and then we had Fred and Lily and Dexter, and now we have Ollie. So he's an Oliver. But yeah, so Fred is like follows me everywhere. Bless his cute little heart. He's getting a little old, so he has to sit. He gets really mad if he can't be where I am.
You
Like
can't
he sits.
not have him.
Well, I don't let him upstairs because he
Is
makes
into
messes,
everything.
gets into everything. But yeah, he sits at the bottom of the stairs and barks. Like, I'm upstairs if nobody else is home. He has an absolute fit. But anyway, there's dog hair here, so I apologize if there's a little extra stuff. So we've talked about the vinyl kit and what that can do for you and how wonderful the vinyl blade cuts. It's just so fantastic. I have now, I think, worn out my first blade. I literally.
Do we have the right blade in today?
I do have the right
Okay.
blade.
We've been really good at not doing that.
Well,
lately,
you know, so one thing that I have recently started suggesting, I never really did before because we pretty much always use the same blade except for very rare occasions. But now we're changing them all the time. We only have one more, but it's just like night and day difference. So I do recommend that you take the blade out when you're done cutting for the night or the whatever it happens to be, so that you're selecting a blade to put it in your machine instead of, oops,
that makes sense.
I didn't put the right one in because I just never changed it. So the vinyl blade kits are available. I'm looking over there today, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Where am I looking? Yeah.
I'm really bad at looking at the camera.
I know, right? It's just
awkward.
so weird.
It's
Can't see
just
what's
very
going on. Yeah.
So they come in two different ways. You can get just the vinyl blade kit that comes with the holder, the blade, and then a design set that also has, it activates the tracing box. No, weeding box, that's the
Weeding
word.
box,
Like,
yeah.
that wasn't right. Or you can get a Disney vinyl blade kit, which is all three of those previously mentioned, plus a Disney design card. So a lot of the stuff that I'm working with today here is off that Disney design card.
So they
so that you
probably
guys can
don't know
see.
what the weeding box is.
A weeding box. Honestly, I don't really use them. So it wasn't as big of a deal for me. I tend to just hack it off. But what a weeding box actually does is it kind of does this for you on the screen. So it automatically adds a square, rectangle, whichever shape based on your design. And it automatically adds that weeding box. So if you've ever weeded something and you like pulled way too far and you're like, oh crap, I just wasted all of that, this would prevent you from doing so. So it makes it a lot easier to see where to start and stop the weeding process.
So it's kind of like a basting frame.
It's kind of like a basting frame
Used
for the other direction. Yes. So, but to start with, I'm actually going to show one of these that I did inside. So it's a built-in in the machine. I'm pretty sure this is in every scan and cut ever created. I just have these on wax paper. So when you hear me, I cut all this stuff last night and then of course it's all sticking together. So I just put it on wax paper so that I could transport it up here without any problems. So there is like a holiday tab on the screen. And it basically has stuff for all year. It's really great. There's different things for Christmas. I did the candy cane.
That's where we found the ghost.
That is where we found the ghost and the witch's hat. Is because underneath that same tab. So you do want to make sure that you are mirror imaging if you are doing heat transfer vinyl. If you are doing craft vinyl, then you would not need to do that unless you're putting it on the back of something. For instance, a glass cutting board, which we have a sample of here in the store. But otherwise, you don't mirror image when you're doing craft vinyl. So everything that I have here today is heat transfer vinyl. So everything needs to be mirror imaged before you cut, unless you want it to just look a little different, which you, of course, can do if that's what you prefer. If you're doing words, though, you really have to. There's no getting out.
Yeah, for those of you that have like ever done
Was
any
attached to a hair.
applique, it's kind of the same thing when we're using the fusible
Right.
applique. You gotta mirror image.
You got to
the
mirror
stuff.
image that
so
so that
that
you're
it's
getting, when you
the
flip
right
it,
way.
it's going to go the direction that you want it to go.
Yep.
So This one was a built-in. When you pull up a design, all of the designs that are in here, actually,
Should we go over it?
yeah, I'm just going to do that. So
Okay.
I'm going to go back home and
We're gonna go wide.
look at
Yep.
me. So we're going to go into our pattern. So you've got all of these different things that are built-ins. You also have another page down there, but we're not going to deal with those today. These are your base shapes. These are the built-in designs. This happens to be a Disney machine. So you've got a Mickey, which is all of your Disney designs that are built in. Borders, fonts, and then wording. So Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, so on and so forth. Smile and create, just like it says on screen. So when we go in here, we've got all of these different menus. And when we select the different page, you can see that there's pages in there. Some of them are single color, some of them are not. It just is dependent upon what it is that you're looking for. And if you can't tell, I don't remember which one I want. It's been kind of that kind of day. All right. So again, it's the bottom left-hand corner there. It's got a heart and a rocking horse is the one that has all of your different.
Totally makes sense.
I
Of why
would-
the candy
that's-
cane Christmas stuff would be there.
Right. Which is why we're repeating said things. We've got a 2-tone bell, a 3-tone candle. We've got 2-tone holly, 2-tone wreaths, so on and so forth. You've got ornaments, all kinds of things. I just did the candy cane because it was pretty straightforward so you guys could see. When you select that, you can resize this. This is where I recommend you resize if you are doing a multicolored piece. It's going to resize all of the parts together and it won't screw that up later. So if you go to resize one thing, you're going to screw up. It won't match up with all the other parts. So right here is where you want to change those sizes if you're going to do so. I'm just going to leave that there. Then you come to this screen. So in this case, it's a 2-color. We have an A and a B. So A just so happens to be this guy here. All right. And then B is this guy here. So mine, they're going to be flipped. I didn't mirror image them because I like my candy cane hooks to go to the left. This drives me crazy. So I just left it that way so that when I flipped it and did the heat transfer, it would actually be that direction. The next one shows you those layering pieces, which is really great. So this is not a cut. This isn't something that you need to cut. It is just showing you where those pieces are going to actually go.
And
So
they wouldn't be able to select that one to cut, right?
honestly, I've never tried. Evidently, you can.
Okay.
I'm not really sure. Maybe you can. Maybe that groups them all together instead of being separate cuts. I've honestly never tried because the whole point is that it separates the
Yeah.
colors for me.
So don't do that.
Don't do that. Exactly. Absolutely. So if you notice my OK button here is kind of grayed out. Maybe you can't tell, but when I select something, you'll definitely see a difference. You have to select. Now you can see that it says OK. I have to say which one is it that I want to cut. So I can hit OK, and then that will pop up on my screen. And I know it's a little bit hard for you guys to see that. The red box makes it a little bit easier. At this point, I can go ahead and cut that white, just put white on my mat, cut the white if I would like, or I can hit add and it takes me right back to that screen. I can grab B and then put my red over here. So I can do it all in one shot. As long as everything that we're adding to the mat is the same depth. So all heat transfer, standard film, all glitter, all hollow, whatever it is, all paper, and all the same weight paper. You can leave and put all these different things on screen. If you have something that is a different type or a different weight, you need to cut that separately because the blade only does its test once. And so it won't work for all those different things. As long as they're the same, you can cut them all in one shot and be good, which we're going to show you in just a little bit. So that is how I did this. So now that I have those cuts, see how magically the digital world happens, right? All I have to do is actually line these things up to actually heat transfer that on. So I'm going to heat transfer the white. I'm going to literally press this on wherever I wanted it to go, and I'm going to peel off the plastic topper. Okay, that's its transfer paper. Once I have that in place, then I'm going to line this up so that it literally sits right on top of that other white that I've already got on there, and I'm going to press again, and it's going to literally just heat that right on top of the piece that I already have on there.
So they don't need to worry about it getting too hot.
They don't. When I'm doing layers, so you still have a transfer sheet, so there's still a barrier in between those. It never hurts to have a pressing sheet of some sort. I have a Teflon one. I do have a heat press at home, so I use that one for things like this quite often. But I use my iron depending upon what it is that I'm doing. I use my iron as well. So I do keep pressing cloths available. I like personally the Teflon ones because I don't have to worry about anything sticking to them and they clean off super easy. If I'm doing something that has an adhesive backing, so when I'm pressing, I can literally just wipe it down and it's ready to go again. I don't have
And they
yuck.
don't need to let the other one cool
Really?
before
I have
'cause you're not
certainly
peeling,
mm-mm.
and your other one is
It's
already
it cools pretty quick.
right.
It really does cool pretty fast. But no, you do not need to wait. All very, very good questions. Are there any questions that you guys are typing? I don't see any.
Mm-mm.
Yes, it is very, very cute. Yes, hello gifts. So stockings, little gift bags that you can buy, like super cheap ones at the dollar store. You can make them really Christmas cute by adding just little ornaments or something very simple on there. Of course, you could add somebody's name. So it's a personalized gift as well. So that is just one of the built-ins, and you can see how that works literally right on screen. So the one that we're going to do today is actually out of the Disney vinyl blade kit. So it doesn't like my USB again. Okay, let's try that one more time. That's happened to everybody, right? We all kind of go, wait a minute, I plugged it in. Why isn't it reading it? So here is the Disney parts. It's really hard for you guys to see that. I get it. So just bear with me a minute. Over here, you can see that it's an FCN. Maybe you can't, but this is an N, not an M as in Mary. It is an N as in Nancy. That is a copyrighted file. So we had to register your machine so that it marries the copyright to your machine. So I have the Disney Blade at home. It would not read my file on the store's machine because that's not what it was created for. So these are not shareable, which is the whole point of a copyrighted design. But just FYI, just because it's something that I own, I can't just go use any scan and cut to cut it. You do have to register the machine and it has to link up to that specific piece.
Pretty similar to the embroidery designs.
It is exactly like the embroidery designs. When you go to the iBroidery site, and I do believe they have some cut files there now. I haven't gone and looked
in a while.
Full disclosure, haven't taken the time to go and look in there, but there's so many files available on the Canvas workspace, plus all of the discs. They're not discs. The download codes that are available here. So this little guy right here, you can't see real well, but you can tell that it has a box around it. Those are actually Mickey's pants. So I need to do that, and I need to do that in red. So I want that to be in its own square on the mat. So here I have the shoes, which is actually just kind of like the decorative pieces of the shoes. This whole section right here is actually, is it the one that I picked on the side? Would that be just too easy? It is. All right. So where's Mickey?
There we go.
All right. So we have red pants. We have white that goes over the shoes. We have his white face and the white glove. And then, of course, little dots on his little pants. All right. And then the black is actually the background. So I need to group all of that white stuff together. So if you notice, they are spaced on screen. If you keep everything spaced that way, it will all line up perfectly. You will have no guessing game later on. Everything will be as it is. So I want to select those white guys and have them all grouped together. So we're going to do that real quick. I'm going to come into edit. When we have multiple things on screen, whatever has the red box will automatically be included in your group, even if it's not in the arrows, quote unquote, which you'll understand in just a second. So make sure you have selected whatever you want to be in there. At least one of those needs to be the selected. I can't select the red pants because then it would group that into that. Okay, so I don't want that. So I'm going to go in our grouping feature. I'm going to grab just these guys here. So I want to have arrows that come on screen that I can just zoom in and grab just the ones that I want. All right. So these are all cut files that are going to be white. So those are the ones that I'm selecting. You can see they all have red boxes, kind of. You can kind of see that on screen.
Yep.
So I'm going to exit
tell that
this.
it's red, but you can see the boxes.
You can tell that it's a box. On this model and the 225, we have to go into Object Edit to get the actual grouping button. on a CM series machine, which the vinyl blade kit wouldn't work for, but the Disney designs and whatnot, it's actually right here next to the OK button. So depending on what your machine is doing, it's going to be in a different spot. This is the button that we're looking for. It is a square with a circle and a triangle in it. When I tap that, my little red boxes disappear and I get one big box around all of those. So now when I move them, they all move together and they are still spaced exactly where I want them. So I'm just going to center that in that little corner. I try to work in quadrants when I'm doing something that fits inside of that, and then I always know which color to put where. So I'm going to go ahead and mirror image that guy here. I'm going to take my red, move it into this quadrant, and I'm going to mirror image that one there. And then this one is going to be the background, which is the black, and I'm going to go ahead and mirror image that. I'm going to center him a little bit better just so that there's a little bit more there. So now I have 3 different colors that are all ready and set to go. I'm going to hit OK. I have to tell the machine I want it to cut instead of some other random function. My half cut feature is on. Again, this is only available on the DX models. Half cut feature will cut only through the colored portion, not through the entire piece itself. We have auto pressure on as well. So we're going to cross our fingers that this blade hasn't been used too drastically. Because like I said, I need to take home a new blade.
Okay, so I'm going to switch this off so that maybe we can move the camera down so they can see the cutting.
Yeah,
then they won't get,
this one still.
Okay, there you go.
Ta-da. All right. So in here, I have my gold. That's not gold. That's teal. Teal arrow. And what that means is this is my low tack mat.
Oh.
Maybe that's why this one's on the bottom.
That's still there.
That one's not going to work.
Okay.
So it's been chewed up. I can actually feel it.
Yeah.
Let's just use this.
Do we need to get a new one?
No, it's fine. I'm just going to use this one. Commercial break. All right. So generally, I do recommend using that low tack mat. I'm going to go ahead and use my standard. I am going to just not press super, super hard. Vinyl is actually fairly lenient when it comes to this because it has that nice plastic backing. It comes off pretty easily. Craft vinyl, on the other hand, does not play quite as nice. So please keep that in mind. Not quite centered, but it's liking it. So we're going to keep going. All right. So I have pre-cut. We're going to just pretend that this one is black. We evidently have no black in the store. That must be why I ordered it for myself. So we're going to just use navy for the black. So that is going to go in this upper quadrant over here. We want the shiny side, which is actually that plastic portion. We want that down. So we're just going to slap that in that quadrant. And we don't want any big bubbles. If you have big bubbles, please go ahead and take it back off and redo it. Again, I don't want this to not come off, so I'm not going to use the roller and the brayer and all of that. I have this really pretty red. Again, shiny part is down, so that's where that color is on that side. I'm going to put that right below. You can't see that, but you will in a moment. And then I have the white. So the white is probably the hardest thing to weed ever. And the reason is because it's really hard to see the cut lines. So I know I want the shiny side down. So it'll just be slightly challenging when we go to actually weed this in a few minutes. So now I have all of the pieces on screen set where I want them to go. And I have the correct colors in the correct corners of the mat. And we're going to go ahead and hit start. It's only going to take about 3 minutes for that to cut. So while that does, how about you flip back and we'll talk about these other guys that I used out of that as well. You're taking your half out of the middle.
All right. So really quickly, we had Holly asked the prices. So we have the Disney vinyl kit. This one is $99.99.
Or the standard kit, which is $59.99. So basically, it's the price of the Disney card. Is the difference between the two.
Yeah.
That's really that's what the difference is. Mm-hmm. They are really, really nice designs. You can see them on Canvas Workspace. If you click on Disney, it's the first box up on the top left. Okay. So
On the DX, the first drop of the blade is to test the depth.
That's
What if
correct.
your vinyls are different depths and your cuts are all
You
cut?
do not want to cut them all at once. They have to be the same for that to work,
Right.
because it is
That's
only testing
what
once.
you mentioned a little
Yep.
bit earlier.
Yep.
So
So sorry if you missed that. I'll repeat it again. So glitter is very, very different in depth. It's much thicker than the standard film. You can't cut those at the same time. You would have to cut the glitter and let that test for that depth, and then cut the standard film or whatever else that it is that you're doing. The hologram is actually pretty similar to the film. Hologram is much fussier. That's probably a good word. So it tends to rip easier. So make sure that you have a really good cut, because if it's not clean, you're going to probably rip your design. So yes, Holly, the Disney will work with your DX. It does not have to be a Disney DX machine for that. It is literally just a design card that you're putting in. So all DX owners can purchase that.
no worries, Annie.
It's all good, Annie. No worries at all. So to prove that point, this is one of the built-ins. And if you look at my little ear over there, he's missing a little piece. I have that piece. I was able to pull it out, but it just
It doesn't want to stay.
it doesn't want to stay there. So right before I go to iron that on, I would place that, and then you can see now I added that little leaf-like guy that finishes out that piece. So on this, we have a Mickey, in this case, Minnie head. And then there's a cute little bow. I didn't have any blue available to me at home, at least not like the
it's all
kind.
here.
It's yeah. Well, you know, I actually had quite a bit at home. I was doing okay, but I didn't have a pink or a blue for these guys, which is what it shows in the box. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to heat transfer this on. Hologram is different. You're going to do a cold peel. So this you have to let it completely. I'm moving my piece.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
he
he's
flies
getting
around
ready
there
to
a
fly
lot.
off.
I keep thinking that this should be sticky enough, but it's just not. It just wants to keep moving. But thank you.
Because we talk with her.
I do. I'm totally Italian. And so once you have this placed, wait for it to cool and then peel the plastic. That's what cold peel means. It needs to be completely cold before you go to peel it. Otherwise, you just peel it right back off. No fun. And then this little guy, it literally sits right on top. Unlike most heat transfers, this one actually doesn't have a cutout. So usually there would be nothing behind where that bow is sitting, but you can very clearly see that the cuts are behind there. So this would literally be going right on top. I'm not filling in any holes or anything like that. So that was, I thought, really, really cute. I also thought you might like it. So
It's adorable.
it, you know, purple's a good color.
Purple
It's
is a
just,
good
you know, not in the scheme there. So the other one that I cut for you guys at home to see how that works
The one on the cover, right?
is the one on the cover of that box. So if you want to hold that up.
So
So the Mickey and the Minnie, they're leaning and they have a cute little heart made out of their tails in the middle of the bottom. So again, I have these on wax paper for transportation ease because they like to stick to everything except what you want them to, right?
Mhm.
So in this case, I have them mirror imaged. I am literally going to put that down. So you want to pop that back on real quick. I'm going to shoot that out. All right, so here is my the back piece of that. So that would go on first. We're gonna iron that on. We're gonna peel off that clear plastic, and then we're going to come and get the next layer. So the way that these are built, you literally have a solid background. The Disney built-ins are the same way. There's a really cool one of Elsa's face and her hair. If you cut just the face, it's really creepy looking. It's kind of fun. I wigged Gene out a couple times. He walked by and I have that like stuck on the side of the machine. So you can see I'm literally lining this right up on top of that. So those cut files, I don't have to do the work. It's done it for me. So I'm literally going to line that up and then I'm going to press that. And then I'm going to peel that plastic off. So I have my base already there. All I have left is the decorative colors for her skirt. So we're going to go around here and we're going to press that. This one happens to be hologram, so I would need to let that completely cool before I peeled that.
Disco Mini.
Disco Mini. Well, you know, you work with what you got, right?
She would be cute next to Disco Gnome.
No doubt. All right, so this is her hat, and I honestly don't remember exactly how that goes. I think it goes something like that.
You can look at the box.
Yeah. Pretty darn close.
Yeah, that looks perfect.
All right. So again, I'm going to place that little guy, and it's going to be ready to go. And then Mickey's pants actually have cutouts for his feet or his legs to go through and everything. So it looks absolutely perfect. And you can see that those colors. So the red that I had was very, very dark, not a really bright. So I do apologize for that. But you can see how easy that goes together. I don't have to be really, really smart or anything to figure that out. The machine does all that work for me, which is absolutely fantastic. Were you going to say something else?
No, I was just gonna say, you are really, really smart.
I am, but I don't have to.
But you don't have to be. So
Nothing like subbing in colors when we don't have what we need.
right? Do you need a tool?
I need a tool.
Do you have what you need? What are you looking for?
This guy.
Oh, I see. Okay.
These little cubbies are so fantastic. They totally should have done that before. So you can't really see real well the cut lines. Matter of fact, we can't really see them at all. Let's get some glasses.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't really look like it did a darn thing, does
Yeah,
it?
I
No.
I have that and I have the press thing so you can do this.
I don't think that it did.
I gave him a spot.
That's really weird.
You both have a great day.
I don't see any cut lines anywhere. Let's just do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can talk about something else while I do that all over again.
Sometimes it happens to the professionals.
What I'm going to do, I am going to pop out my blade and completely reinsert it just to make sure that it is.
Yeah, we have been taking them in and out a lot. So.
Yep. So I have actually seen when these machines first came out, when somebody changed the blade while it was on, not like when it was off, that they oh, that's different.
That is done as the one from the
All right, so we want to make sure that that blade is inserted all the way down. You don't want to feel the carriage where you're putting it go down with it.
Okay.
If that does, turn the machine off and turn it back on. I have seen that happen. And I had red over here.
Just sticking up a little bit over there. I don't know if it'll get caught, but
So if you see, I don't have this placed exactly perfect, and it doesn't matter as long as I am within my cut lines. That is really interesting. I wonder what the heck happened. Let's take a peek.
live TV.
Live TV. Nothing ever happens just like. Yes, Annie, there's a lot of things in your machine on default. It's a pretty slick thing. All right. Half cut is on. Let's bump. Just give it a little extra bump. Now we'll cut all the way through, right? All right. So 3 more minutes that's got to happen. So is there anybody that has any questions on how this goes together? It is, hi Karen, it is very, very straightforward. As you can see, you do have a reference point to go back to. So this one happened to be on the front of the box, but they are certainly all online. So if you can't remember where something goes, you can certainly do that. But very, very easy. And there's a nice little outline to everything. The flower parts fit perfectly in there. So it looks like it has, you know, all of the insides and all of that. All right, it's cutting something this time.
Something.
There's lines this time, so that's a good thing. And then again, so very, very straightforward and certainly easy. Now, if you're doing craft vinyl, it's going to be built the same way. Of course, you don't have any. There are more designs with the Disney vinyl blade kit. If you go to Canvas Workspace and click on the Disney tab across the top, it is the top left corner, as I'm pointing off into La La Land over here. It's the upper left corner.
Your left.
Your left, not my left. upper left corner is the box that has that in there. You can click on show all and see all of the designs. They are very, very cute. We're cutting one. There are two of Mickey and Minnie together. There's two of Mickey by himself. There's two of Minnie by herself. And then there's things kind of like this. There are backgrounds. So if you wanted to do something to put on a bag, you could actually, it kind of looks like a quilted background that has little Mickey heads in between the quilting lines, like in the crosshairs. Very, very cute. There's lots of stuff in there. So yes, absolutely can. That's really blurry. So Annie, if you are seeing that, depending upon what type you are using, I would probably think that it needs to cool. So whatever type you are doing, if you're getting some stretch when you're pulling that off, what? Oh, yeah, I can't see anything on screen anymore, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's too far, isn't it? Too
Yes,
far,
that's
not close enough.
completely blurry. This one over here, not so much. So, yeah, we are totally good this time around.
Okay.
If you want to flip back
We're
over
gonna
there.
flip back.
One thing to keep in mind, with the DX machines, we don't really use the test function anymore. So you certainly can. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's not really a necessary thing. So if you are concerned that your blade is getting old or something to that effect, first of all, I would actually look before I generally peel that off. I'm doing too many things at one time. And you can just recut right over top of it. Or you could adjust the depth of the blade. These blades are going to get dull, just like the other blades got dull. The problem is we're not doing a test, so we're not automatically correcting for it. So if you aren't seeing what you expect, bump up the pressure on your blade. I recommend somewhere between 3 and 4. If you bumped to 3 and now you need to bump to 4, it's time to plan a visit to come see us and get another blade. There's a point where it doesn't matter how much pressure, if it's still not sharp enough, you're not going to get a nice clean cut. So I do recommend that you have that. So if I had a weeding box, it would literally give me a box outside, but I've already kind of pre-cut my weeding boxes, so I don't need to do that. And I can see that it is just peeling super nice. And so I know that I am on a good cut. So I'm going to go ahead and get that mat out. I will go right back to working in this space, just not on something sticky because that's annoying. All right, so all I'm going to do is then peel. I just need to kind of poke the corner. If you didn't see how I did that, I can do it again on the next sheet. And everything should peel miraculously quick and easy. Now remember that this one is the background. Yes, everybody stare at me because that makes it so much better, guys.
They can't see us.
No,
All
but
they
they're
can
really
see is
cute.
your
They
hands.
literally are on their elbows with their hands on their chin and they're staring at me. All right.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. All right. So this is the background. So there's not really going to be interior cuts. It's just the outside. So it's literally like the silhouette of Mickey that we're going to have after we have this guy here. And of course it's proving me wrong because there's one right in his hand. So we've got right here. So I'm just going to snag that and then pull that out. So right in between his legs. Actually, that's his tail, but we're not going to talk about what that actually looks like because then you won't want to cut this. All right. And then here is basically his elbow groove. All righty. So there is my silhouette piece. Staticky. All right. So you guys can see that, right?
Yep.
Okay. So the next one I want is the white. So that's going to give me all of the detail pieces. As I said before, white is like the hardest thing ever. You can't really easily see the lines. Now I was able to check. So again, this is how I start. I stab my corner and I twist. So you can see that I now have my clear backing and the white, and then I just start pulling. This one is going to have some interior pieces that I'm going to have to take a peek and see where those go. If you have a picture nearby, it makes it a little bit easier so you know where to look, especially when it's white. If it's not white, tend to not need it quite as badly because you can see it a little bit easier. So that's his face. Like I said, random faces floating. looks mildly creepy. So if you want to creep somebody out, it's a great way to do that. I have actually had Jean go, what the hell is that? Just so much fun. Feet, gloves, feet. Let's see what else we have over here. I don't have a picture here, so. Alrighty, so now I've got some randomness, and I need to find his mouth and his eyes. So you certainly can bend and then kind of pick with your fingernails if you happen to have them. Sometimes that's easier than accidentally stabbing your picking tool in the wrong spot, and then you get a divot where you don't want it. Ask me how I know. So here is the smile and like the little cheek dimple. So big, long, got his tongue sticking out there. Well, not sticking out, but you know what I mean. And these tiny little dimples over the top. There's one side and the other. So layering, you're just going to do all of those steps and you're going to be repeating them. So this here, I just need to line that all up. So I just keep turning until I get it exactly where I want it to go. All right. So I'm looking for that nice, even outline everywhere. And I want that as balanced as possible. If I don't like what I have, obviously I can start over again. Once you've ironed this on, it's a little bit harder. You know, like that backing is there. It's going to stick a little bit better and be harder to move to raw edged, if you will, versus just the plastic. I have a lot of wiggle room here. And then I just put that in place. Oh, I forgot his nose. See? That's an awful lot of white face. And now I've got it all stuck down. I can't get it off. So there's his nose. This is the epitome of picking one's nose. Here we go. Maybe not. There we go.
Now he looks more like
Now he looks like Mickey. So now we just need to.
a little glare on him. Can we
I
slide
can
him?
move him over. Yeah. This side better?
Yeah, much better. Oh,
No,
it's
not
just
so much.
the light,
It is. See if we can fix that.
but they can really see him now.
How's that?
That's great.
Okay. So this is the area that I actually need to weed for his shorts. So I'm actually going to cut this down. If I was paying like a lot of attention, I was using my product instead random scrap pieces here at the store, I would have placed that in the corner much more carefully so that I don't have
A
the
giant
waste
piece of
and
wasted.
and whatnot. But since it's not mine, it's not as big of a deal. No. All right. So once again, I am going to stab that corner and give it a little twist. So I've got my plastic backing and now that pretty red, and I am just going to pull until I get this red is awesome, isn't it?
It is awesome.
It is just awesome. All right. And then I have the little buttonholes. All right. Which those are going to, you want to make sure that you're lining up with the white in there. So I apologize. Is that better?
Yep, that's good.
All right.
It's a really good spot.
So I am going to simply place and then press.
So cute.
So layering, it seems scary, but as you can see, it's literally a piece of cake. It's just a matter of
So much easier than changing your threads in your embroidery machine.
it is quite a bit faster. So there are things that I definitely heat transfer vinyl instead of embroider. It depends on what it is. But you know, embroidery has a little bit more higher class view to it, if you will. So people tend to like that kind of thing
They
from a
think you
gift
worked
perspective. They
harder.
think you worked harder, which may be true, but the steps. So I see some comments about stretching. The stretching, I would think, if you are having that issue, you need to let it cool first. If it's cool, it shouldn't stretch once you've pulled it off. If it's stretching literally as you're pulling, you haven't fused it well enough. So give it more heat, more pressure. Pressure actually matters. So just hitting something with an iron and leaving it there doesn't actually apply pressure. You have to push. And you do need pressure to get those to release from one from another, which is why a heat press is so easy,
Right.
because it applies that for you.
And irons, we have all of those steam
We
holes
do. We have
and
steam
divots
holes,
and things like that.
which you don't have with a heat press.
Right.
Now, I'm certainly not suggesting everybody go out and buy a heat press. If we sold them here, then of course I would, but we don't. So, that's totally up to you. That's that fair?
Mm-hmm.
So I got mine off of eBay. It was like $100.
Yeah.
And I actually bought a new one this past year because I'm trying some other things too, but I wanted some different plates and other stuff to be able to heat too. So I did buy a new one, but I had the other one for almost 10 years before I replaced it. And it was like 100, maybe 150. I got it as a gift. Put it on your Christmas list or your birthday list. If you still have people that are doing that for you. That's how I got mine. And it's been fantastic. I mean, I have done so many things with my heat press, and it does take the pressure off of you having to do that. It gives you all of those pieces for you.
Yeah, works really
So-
nice for this stuff. It works nice for applique backings, fusible interfacings if you like to make bags, wallets, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. That's why I have a heat
And
press.
quite frankly, you can actually press with it, so if you have an area that you need to just iron, you can use it for that. It does a really nice job. One thing that I do when I'm using my heat press is I hit it, not for the full time, but I hit it so that it's warm first, so that you're getting a little bit better seal on the back. So it's a little bit warm before you even put the item on there. Then, but I do generally use a Teflon sheet. Mine actually came with a Teflon sheet, so I didn't even
a lot
have
of
to.
them do.
I think most
it's
of
a
them
thing,
do. I think
yeah.
it's a thing. So
Much more of a thing now
um,
than probably 10 years ago.
yes. So, and like I said, they have lots of different ones out there. What you really are looking for is the platen size. So how big of an area. And this is one of those things, ladies, that size does matter. So you don't want, a tiny platen, because you're going to be like, oh, I got to press that. And then I got to press it again. And then I got to move it and press it again. So mine is a 15 by 15.
Except for that little itty bitty one. Have you seen that? It's so
Sometimes the cuteness is not really what you're looking for
no,
here, though.
but that one is really good if you have small, tight spaces that you're getting into.
Yes. So, like I said, they do have different.
So small, itty bitty, or giant.
Or giant.
You shouldn't have anything in between.
So if you have any questions, I'm certainly happy to answer some generic questions on there. We don't carry them here, so it's certainly not something we can help you with from a purchasing standpoint, but we certainly can answer some questions for you if you guys
Because we're
have
full
them.
of opinions.
I have those, everybody has one of those and something else, right? Right. That's what they say. So,
Oh, all right. Well, that was a lot of fun, Lisa. Thanks.
yeah, you're welcome.
think
She was like,
hopefully-
should I plan something else? I'm like, no, I'll do it. She's like, okay, good. So yes, when I realized it was about 1 o'clock in the morning, I was like, I probably should stop and go to bed now. But I absolutely love my both heat press and the scan and cut. I use it a lot. I use everything in my house a lot, but it is certainly one of my favorites. And if you are struggling with something like you might have, or it says you said
Hey, Becky,
Carolyn
long
might
time no
too
see.
as well. Hello. Give us a call and ask. Don't just stay home and frustrated and whatnot. Just give us a buzz.
Yeah.
We might have an opinion on that. So.
Maybe. All right. Well, that was a quick hour.
It went very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
Anybody have any other questions?
You're very welcome, Miss Pam. Oh, hello.
Your phone's
Wow.
been going nuts.
Has it?
Yeah.
That's the first time I heard it. I don't even know where it is.
It's we buried it right
Oh,
here.
here
I
it
think
is.
That's why.
It's right in front of my face. I have the vibration turned all the way up.
I can tell.
It's because I'm deaf. It's not for any
Oh.
other reasons. I keep it in my pocket only because it's the easiest place to put it.
Yeah.
Not for any other reasons.
Holly wants to know,
Um,
did you upgrade to Disney DX or just buy Disney cards? I have the Disney DX model, the original DX model, which is the one that we have here. And then I bought the Disney vinyl kit, which someday I am going to install. Maybe
I've
tonight.
installed 2 now.
I know. It's too bad you don't. live closer. I should have bought that other house. We would have been.
Oh
so
my God, that would
close.
have been awesome. She literally was like ready to close, and then
Died.
the guy died. And it was like, well, that's not going to happen
So
anymore.
that
It went
house-
into probate.
it
And,
was a
oh my
mess,
gosh.
yeah.
I was like,
a hot
she was
minute.
literally going to live like a
Over
country block away,
Yeah.
basically. And then that didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
But,
But now I have cows.
Now she has cows for neighbors instead of
They
me.
are no
So,
good at crafting.
imagine that. Got milk?
Oh, got milk, right?
So for mine,
Mhm.
I actually have the original 225. So the first one that came out, they have updated that as well. So mine is like the oldest DX model that we have. It doesn't have built-in Disney, but it can cut everything else. So all of the cards that are available for purchase,
And there's a lot of cards.
and there are a lot, and we have, I think, everything here. I try to keep at least one, usually two of every card here. So they're in a pretty blue box. They're all sorted by name in there, so you don't even have to search through like everything.
Mhm.
Though sometimes that's fun too. But yeah, they generally, depending on whether they're Disney or not, because there are some non-Disney cards, run between like $25 and $40,
Mhm.
depending upon what you're doing. And you can see what all of those are on Canvas Workspace. One of the things that I have been asked to do, since it's harder to come in here, is to do a little lesson and video post on Canvas Workspace. So that is in the works. Unfortunately, it probably won't happen till January, just based on vacations and timing and whatnot. But who knows? I do stay after work so it might happen. You just never know. But I do plan to do that. So there are some things that you have to do on the web version, and there's some things you have to do on the downloaded version, and it does make a difference. And not knowing where to look for what is a little frustrating. So my plan is to kind of map that out, maybe even get a printout that we can post
Great.
that says, if this is what you're trying to do, go here. So that is in the plans, and hopefully will
That's
be.
kind of like those books that you used to read in like elementary school. You read it and then you've got choice A or B. If you go to A, choose your own adventure.
Choose your own adventure. So evidently I am way older than both of them, because I have no idea what they're talking about.
You didn't have choose your own adventure?
I don't remember that. Maybe
Yeah.
I did, but I don't. Okay, in fairness, I don't really remember elementary school.
Okay, that's fair.
Anything before 5th grade is kind of a blur for me. It's just me. So in fairness, maybe. But for some reason, in 4th grade, I learned how to sing Happy Birthday in Portuguese.
And you still
And I
remember
can still
that.
remember that. So
Isn't that funny what
go figure.
our brains remember and how quickly they delete
And
some
how,
stuff?
but I wish we could choose what was being deleted. Because let me tell
Anybody
you,
knows how to do that.
please
Let us
please
in
let
on
us
the
know.
secret.
Let us know.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that about does it, right? Holly wants us to remind her the next time she comes.
You're assuming we're going to remember. It's not how this works. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that was lots of fun. All right.
All right,
so
guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it answered the questions that have been.
We were supposed to do drawings.
Well, what have you been doing?
Oh my gosh. We have Kimberly.
Did you prep it?
I did.
Oh,
It
well,
was
at
been
least she
drawing.
prepped it. So hold that thought. I can't believe there's not been a, hey, wait a minute comment over there somewhere. I think I might have snorted when I was laughing. That's just fantastic. So we have little baggies of all tickets of all of the people that showed. So if you don't know what the heck we're talking about, last week on Wednesday, on Friday, and on
I have
Saturday,
3 of the same thing.
hey. So week 1 is, you have one open?
I do.
Okay. Week 1 is this super cute, I may have one at home, Kimberbell logoed tumbler. And there's a straw somewhere in there as well. So very cute. It works really nice. It's actually glass. It's really, really nice. So we have 3 days. I'm going to assume the day that doesn't have a tag is the one that's not labeled on the other 2.
That's Friday. Yeah. Yes. I think the tag must be somewhere
it fell
in
on
there.
the floor somewhere. So, but to go back, you were just going to ask, well, good for you. I can't believe we totally, well, I believe I did. I totally believe I did. All right. So, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, we did 3 of the projects from the Bella Box, 1 each day. And then next week, when I come back, we're going to repeat and do the other 3 that were in there. So there's technically 7, but 2 of them, one's a 2-story house and one's a 1-story house. So we're just going to do 1 house. It should be able to be.
Apparently, we were already supposed to do.
We were supposed to do that on Saturday, and somebody
got confused.
it happens, guys. You know. So here's the revelation: we're human too. Okay.
All right, but
Okay,
we promised
So
everybody who commented
or emailed that they were
us.
there, as long as we hit enough viewers. So you picking or am I picking?
I'll pick 1. You pick 2.
Pick 2. Just like
Okay,
at Applebee's.
this one is from Wednesday, right?
This is Wednesdays.
Kathy Willis.
Kathy Willis,
That's so
you
funny.
were
She was
just here. All right, so Kathy Willis gets the first one. So we have other things that we'll be giving that for next week's,
Yep.
because I don't think we have 3 more of these.
No,
But they are still Kimberbell and they're super cute.
yes.
And you just never know what it's going to be.
Mm-mm.
And I mean, it's been, Miss Janet Ensign. Wasn't she just here too?
I don't know. The other day she was.
The other day. So Janet Ensign gets number 2. And that
Oh,
was for Friday.
She picked up her machine this
She
morning.
did.
Yeah, that's funny.
So wasn't it today?
Kathy
Wasn't it?
and Janet both.
We're both here this morning. So evidently there's like a magnetism or something. So quick, run in here. No, just kidding. All right. One more. Couldn't find the tickets.
No, and I gave up looking.
Miss Sue Rance.
Awesome.
All right. So those are last week's winners, and they will be here. There is no time frame or anything. You don't have to like run, though. Of course, you're certainly welcome to if you're super excited.
Kathy Willis, Janet Ensign, and Sue Rance. So I thought it was funny that Janet
2
and
of the
Kathy
3
were
were
both
actually
here today.
here.
Yep.
So
we'll send you emails, let you know in case
yeah,
you're not
just
watching
in case
this
you guys
live
weren't
or
watching today.
whatever.
And there will be more drawings in
Not next week,
the
but
week
the
of
week
Christmas.
after. Yes.
So the week of Christmas, we will draw for next week's
Yes.
days. So if you would like to get put into the drawings, you need to watch us do the Bella Box thing. If you don't know what the Bella Box thing is, you can certainly call and ask questions, or you can go to, there was an email sent out. You can go to the Kimberbell website, which is kimberbell.com, and you can purchase a Bella Box still. They still have them available, and you can get your own and then tune in, watch us show how to do this, that, and the other thing, because, we've done it so many times already. And then we will they will be posted. So if you just get yours and it's not there yet, when you go to watch the videos, they are going to be posted to both YouTube and to Facebook, so you can go back and watch them, or if you just didn't sew with us and you want to go back and watch. So
yeah,
all good.
All right.
All
Thanks,
right,
guys.
appreciate you
Sorry.
guys checking in. Hope
Good thing I didn't completely wig out on that. It's hard to get good help.
Yeah, I'm on vacation. I have every excuse in the world. I'm not supposed to remember Jack, right? All right, you guys,
Thanks,
thanks for popping in. We'll see you next week.
Bye.